It's your boy, Amreezy, and I'm back with another Road to Sorare Boss episode where we follow my journey in the wonderful game of Sorare. If you are new around here, here's how I like to do it. I talk all things Sorare. I like to do this casual. Get a cup of tea while you watch this. Relax. If you've not got your cup of tea, don't worry. Pause the video. Make your cup of tea. While that video is paused, if you give me a like and a subscribe, helps me out massively. Unpause the video. Let's talk Sorare. It has been an international break, which has been a little bit chaotic for me, not for Sorare reasons. I've done zero successful Sorare lineup building in the international break. That's not how my gallery is built. If you've been watching these series for a while, you'll know that. You'll know that we don't have goalkeepers for the international teams. We don't have enough teams. We don't focus on that. However, it's been really big for me. I've come up with some new strategies for my gameplay, some game-changing strategies. I'm gonna outline my strategy soon, what cards I've been buying, why I've been buying them, what cards I'm gonna be buying in the future, what cards I'm gonna be stop buying, what cards I'm gonna try and get rid of. All of that's gonna be discussed. It's been an exciting time, this international break for me. I have used it, I think, wisely to come up with a new strategy of where I can make a few more gains. I've also been studying, especially the Premier League, how the season started, where it's going, and where I can kind of jump on board. A little bit of a spoiler for what I'm about to say in my new strategy. However, I can't wait any longer. I'm excited. Let's talk my strategy. That's going to replace the review section I usually do. Let's talk my strategy that I'm about to implement, these new strategies in Sorare. Let's do it. So, Amreezy, what are your new strategies? Well, in short, I'm going to be going a lot more seriously now in Premier League in season and targeting midweek European competitions, specifically the UEFA, is it UEFA, Europa, whatever it's called, the Conference League, the worst of the European competitions, because that's the one that Chelsea are in currently. That's going to be my new strategy, and I'm going to move away from kind of classic cards. I'm going to try and stop buying classic cards. I'm trying to reduce my gallery at the moment. I've sold this in this international break. Oh, I've been busy. Your boy's been busy. I've been selling a lot of classic cards just to try and get what I can for them so I can spend that money in season and just trim basically my squad so that I still want to play in the same leagues I've been playing in. Premier League Classic, one lineup maybe in Champion and one maybe in Challenger, and then 3 in Contender and 1 under 23 lineup. I still want to do all of those in Classic, but I kind of want as fewer cards as possible. I kind of had a big look at my gallery this international break and went, okay, I've got so many trim cards that I can just get rid of that I had them because I was like, maybe they'll become a big player in the future, maybe they'll get in the first team, they're injured, maybe they'll come back in the future. Now I've just gone, forget that, trim it just so I can keep playing the classics how I've been doing, but focus my energy now on in-season Premier League. So what I've done with this is I've given myself a budget of about £70 for in-season Premier League. So it's not like a crazy high budget like a lot of people have. I've done that just to see, with that budget for the remainder of the season, I've bought some cards for £70, Premier League. I'll show you who I bought. But I'm trying to see if it'll be worth it, because I have seen the prizes. There are a lot more cash prizes. All the conversations I've been having with people in the Sorare community, which is a wonderful community, by the way. If you've commented on my videos in the past, and someone in last week's video did actually say, have you thought about in-season cards? And I have been thinking about them for a while. Obviously, they're very hard to ignore as a Sorare player, the whole in-season. And I thought, I'll be honest with you, I thought I could get away with not playing in-season this year. I thought I could go just play Classic, win in-season cards, and maybe next year do in-season. But I'll be honest, I've had a bit of FOMO. I've been watching everybody else playing in-season, and I've got a little bit jealous. So this international break, I think, was the perfect time for me to jump into in-season because the prices came down a little bit. And also, I think you've got the first 8 weeks of the Premier League have been done, and you can kind of make some decisions based on how they've done, who's been good, who's been bad. I think I've used my football brain, which has served me well so far. I mean, in the cards that I bought in the summer, if I'd have bought them in season, oh, I'd be doing so well. I bought cards like Cole Palmer, Dwight McNeil, back when Dwight McNeil, nobody really was buying Dwight McNeil. I bought a few Everton players. I bought a few clever cards that have gone on to do well in the Contender and Premier League. If I'd have bought the in-season versions instead, I would have won some good money. So I'm not really regretting what I've done because, I've still got those cards in Classic to play with. And I think Classic's more fun. It's more like it's fun for me, but I think in-season might be where better prizes can be won. So that's what my logic behind going in season. My logic, and you can see here, these were these my teams that I played in the last week. I didn't do a video last week because it was international break, but the week before that was this. I've got a few great cards in Classic still. I've got Jimenez, Kovacic. I've got a lot of Chelsea cards. Dwight McNeil, Solanke. I've got West Ham cards. So, and you can see here, Bowen 93, Palmer, big score, Jimenez, Kovacic, Pope with a good score. So I've got good cards. I need to work out a bit. I need to still get better at putting the right ones together in Classic. But it's fun. But I think in season is going to be even more fun. So what I've done is I'm going to stick with basically all of these lineups. So I'll have one lineup in Challenger. My previous strategy was to build up my champion to have 3, build up my Challenger to have 3, build up Contender so that they were better lineups and not just Santos lineups and one good lineup. But I'm going to take a bit of energy and effort away from Classic now and slowly move to in-season. And I think next season, I'll probably go just for in-season. So that's one strategy that I'm going to be implementing. In-season and trimming the fat on my Classic cards. The other thing I want to do, because you can see here, international break, I didn't really do anything. And then we're going to do this week's. I'll show you my lineups for this week's video later on. The other thing I want to do is target the Conference League, which sounds crazy, I know. Midweeks have usually been boring for me. I'm usually never taking midweeks seriously. Usually I just take the weekend seriously and I don't take midweeks seriously. But Chelsea are in the Conference League and I have a huge Chelsea collection now. We can go to my collections. Oh, another exciting thing that happened in the international break is I completed my first ever Sorare collection. Round of applause for Amreezy. Round of applause for your boy Amreezy. I completed my first ever Santos, my first ever collection. I've now got all of the Santos cards and there weren't many. So it was a good collection for me to kind of complete. And I like how it looks. It's gold. I like how it looks. Is it useful? No. Are any of those cards useful? No. Are Santos bottom of the league in Mexico right now? Yes. Does that make me sad? Yes. Does it cheer me up though, seeing this little gold box? Yes, I'm a collector. I've got a problem, okay? So I did this in the international break. I finished my Santos collection from 2023 to 24. So I've got a lot of Chelsea cards. I've got 24 cards from this year, and I've got a few now from the last season. So I've got the Chelsea players that are playing in the Europa League. Not the Europa League, the one worse than that, the Conference League. I've got Nkunku, I've got João Felix, I've got Pedro Neto, I've got Dewsbury Hall, I've got Badiashile, I've got all of these guys. I've just not got the goalkeeper. So what I've done is I've gone out and bought Jorgensen. So basically Chelsea are playing Robert Sanchez in the league, Jorgensen in the Europe. So what I've done is I bought Jorgensen for a nice price. And also I think that's a good purchase because Jorgensen could still become Chelsea's number 1 in the future. If he does, I've got him for the classic competitions. I just think it was a good purchase to make. Let's take a look at my cards that I bought and my Premier League in-season cards. If they ever load. We wait. We wait. There they go. So, oh, by the way, I crafted a card as well. A lot has happened this international break. Keep up, guys. Keep up. I crafted my first ever card. I waited until I had enough essence to craft a T3 card. It was a mistake. I got Badiashile, a Chelsea defender that very rarely plays. I also have Badiashile already in the last season's card. So I already had Badiashile. I now have 2 Badiashile cards and he never plays. So although he does play in the Conference League, so he'll be useful for me. Look, here he played in the Conference League, here he played in the Conference League, here he played in the Conference League. So this is why I've bought Badiashile. I haven't bought Badiashile. I crafted him by mistake, but that's why I'm not selling him because he's not worth anything as well. But also I'm trying to collect a few in-season cards. Maybe Chile comes in the first team. Chelsea have a few injuries. Who knows? So I'll keep him. And also, he's a Chelsea card. I did get very excited when I crafted him and it said Chelsea, defender, France. I thought Wesley Fofana. Surely it's Wesley Fofana who starts every week in the Premier League. Chelsea defender in season. This is going to be, it's Chile. So lesson learned. I'm not going to craft any more T3 cards. I think I'm going to just craft T5 cards for the foreseeable future, where the disappointment is much less. If you get a bad card in T5, you expect it. You didn't waste loads of essence. And also, I keep seeing people crafting T5 cards and going, I got Bellingham, I got Haaland, I got, Messi. So lesson learned. Now, the Premier League in-season cards that I've chosen are Nottingham Forest cards. I've been watching the Premier League, eagle-eyed. The last Premier League game that I saw was Chelsea-Nottingham Forest. I was really impressed with Nottingham Forest. I've been impressed with them all season. I think before the season, Everton were the team that I was Everton are the team to get Sorare cards from. And I got a lot of classic Everton cards, and I'm still going to be playing my Everton cards. I wish I'd bought them in season, because I think Everton are about to go on a good run now. They've got nice fixtures, but Nottingham Forest have got nice fixtures coming up as well. And Nottingham Forest have beaten Liverpool and drawn against Chelsea. They've shown that they can do well against the big teams. They're doing well in the league. I think they're going to challenge for possibly those outer European places this year. And the guys that I've got are Matt Sells in goal. It's a little bit of a risk because he could be injured for this game week coming up. But I've been very impressed. He looked very good against Chelsea, Matt Sells. I know there's been a bit of talk with him, could he lose his place? They do have another goalkeeper who, if he loses his place, I'll have to buy the other Nottingham Forest goalkeeper. That's the risk I'm taking with this strategy. But I'm going to be going for Matt Sells because it was under £20 for that goalkeeper. Morgan Gibbs-White, I got for £7.90. Milenkovic, who I'm a huge fan of. I love watching this guy play. He's an absolutely solid defender who's been scoring well in Sorare. These are some pretty good scores so far. And he's not even settled yet. This is the beginning of his career at Nottingham Forest. I think if they can just get better. These two scores, by the way, are from Spain, from his international duty, so ignore those. But look at these good scores since he's joined Nottingham Forest. I think he's going to go on and become a big player. I think the way he plays should be good for Sorare. Wins a lot of headers, wins a lot of challenges, is a bit of a threat on set pieces. So Milenkovic is going to be my defender. Gibbs-White, my midfielder. I've got Chris Wood as a striker, and then I've got one more striker that I'm currently bidding on, really hoping that I win, is Callum Hudson-Odoi. He's a former Chelsea boy, so I've got a soft spot for him in my heart. So I'm going to be going Premier League in season with 4 Nottingham Forest cards. It probably won't be Chris Wood most weeks because Chris Wood has been doing really well this year. He gets a bad score if he doesn't score. If he does score, he gets an okay score. So I bought him in because he was quite cheap, about £4. About £4 something. What did I get for him? Traded to Amreezy for £4.17. I thought that was quite a good price for someone who seems to be scoring every other game this season. He's on a good streak. Nottingham Forest are playing well. He's getting good service. And I think he's a good finisher. So I'm going to hope that I get Callum Hudson-Odoi instead as my kind of number one striker. But maybe against weaker teams, I'll play them both. And then my thinking is, I've seen a lot of people getting 4 Premier League in-season cards and then getting an old goalkeeper from the classic cards to play. I bought the goalkeeper in season so that I can play my Cole Palmer classic card with these Nottingham Forest in-season cards. So that's going to be my strategy most weeks for now. I don't think I'm going to buy another lineup. I think I'm just going to buy one lineup for in season to start off with. That's cost me about £70. If we include Callum Hudson-Odoi, who's going for around about £14 to £15, and we add that to the goalkeeper, Milenkovic, Gibbs-White, and Chris Wood, it's about £60 to £70. And I'm going to see how that does. Basically, I'm going to give it a few weeks, see what it's like, see how much money I make back. And then we'll take it from there. If it works, I might buy more. So yeah, that's my in-season cards. The other cards that I bought are Jorgensen and Disasi. Disasi, I didn't buy him. I just traded some. Like I said, I've been trimming my gallery lately, getting rid of a lot of stuff, classic cards. So I traded Disasi for a few classic cards that I didn't want anymore. I also traded Adrian Pereira for a couple of cards that I transfer listed. I didn't actually make an offer for this guy, by the way. I transfer listed a few of my cards, and someone traded me this for 2 of the cards that I wanted to get rid of. I looked him up. He's having a great season at Rosenborg, scoring really well, so he could be a really fun defender. So he's been brought in. And Jorgensen I bought for £13.50 with the strategy that he now means I can play midweek European fixtures. Jorgensen, I can play Disasi with him, who plays every game. Badiashile plays every game. I've then got the likes of Dewsbury Hall, Nkunku, Pedro Neto, João Felix. Those boys are all playing all the European games. And Maresca's been very obvious at Chelsea. He's got a Premier League starting 11 and he's got a Conference League starting 11. I've now got a good team for the Premier League and a good team for the Conference League. And surely Chelsea are going to do well in those Conference League games. There's still plenty of fixtures left in the Conference League. Chelsea are going to be favourites in every single game. Then if they get to the knockout stages, they're probably still going to be the favourites. Maybe they could win the competition. Am I excited or am I excited? So these are 2 new competitions I'm going to be playing with. I'm excited. Let me know your thoughts, guys. If I'm making any mistakes, let me know. I really do value the comments and advice I get in the feedback here on these videos. So let me know what you think. If there's any in-season bargains that you can think of, let me know. I'm kind of targeting Nottingham Forest for now, but I don't mind adding a few players from other teams if they're at a good price. And yeah, that's my new strategy. Let's go. Let's now move on and finish this week's video by looking at my lineups for the coming weekend. Right then, here we go. These are my lineups for game week 19, which is October the 18th to the, check the notes, 22nd. So we've got this specialist competition again from Sorare where you can't pick 2 players from the same club. And you have to have 2 players with an L15 of below 50 and one player with a score above 60. So I've just thrown these together. I'm not really taking them too seriously. This lineup is the kind of most serious lineup, I think. And shout out to Koulibaly making a surprise appearance for me. I don't quite get how, but some of the Saudi players are available this week in the special competition because it's some kind of cup. So Koulibaly makes a surprise appearance for me. I think the first time I've ever played him. And then, yeah, I'm not really taking any of these lineups too seriously. And then we move to Premier League. Let's get excited. So this is going to be my first ever in-season Premier League lineup. It's going to be the Nottingham Forest boys with Cole Palmer as captain. Yes, Cole Palmer has a tricky fixture this week against Liverpool, which is a bit annoying for me. Chelsea have got a really tricky set of fixtures coming up now. But I'm just hoping that they're going to be high-scoring games and kind of not rely too much on the defenders and throw in a few attackers where I can. And Cole Palmer is the kind of player where even in hard games, he can still get a goal, involvement, and give me a good score. So I'm going to be playing Gibbs-White and Wood, possibly Morgan Gibbs-White. I don't play. I'm going to wait until the last minute to see if I get any injury news, because Gibbs-White is a bit of an injury doubt, but he could play. Same with Chris Wood. And if I get that Callum Hudson-Odoi card bought before the deadline, Callum Hudson-Odoi will be here or here, and we'll shuffle around these 2 cards. But that's roughly how it's looking right now before the Callum Hudson-Odoi purchase. Then we go to Premier League Classic, where I'm quite excited about this lineup. I've been targeting Everton for a while. I've been saying on the channel for a while, Everton. I've got a good feeling about Everton. They had a bit of an unlucky start, I think, to the season. I bought a whole bunch of their cards. And I'm going to be playing 3 of them in these 2 lineups. So the strongest lineup is going to be Nick Pope. It's got Brighton at home. Quite a good fixture for Newcastle. Kovacic at Wolves. So he should be in the team a lot. Kovacic is having a really good spell at Man City at the moment. I'm really happy I've got his card. With Rodri injured, I think Kovacic could play a lot of games this year. So I'm hoping against Wolves, Kovacic can play. Branthwaite, Everton defender. Ipswich away. That's a nice fixture for Everton. That's why I've also put Dwight McNeil in the team. And then Dominic Solanke is going to be in the team. At home against West Ham, who, even though West Ham had a good fixture last week, we don't fully know if West Ham are back yet. So I think Tottenham could take advantage of that, because Tottenham do look a bit more lively recently, especially Solanke. So I'm going to captain him. And I think that's a fairly good Premier League lineup. So I'm optimistic about this one. This one I'm slightly less optimistic about, but still could do well. I've got Aaron Ramsdale in goal for Southampton. Southampton don't usually have many good fixtures, but Leicester at home could be a good fixture for Southampton. I've then got another Everton card, Tarkowski. Then I'm going to be going for 2 West Ham cards because I've got a lot of West Ham cards in. I've got a mini collection of West Ham. So I'm kind of hoping Tottenham West Ham is a high scoring game. And if it is, Bowen and Kudus could be involved in those goals. And then Jadon Sancho is going to be here for the same reason I'm playing Cole Palmer. I'm not really playing many Chelsea players this week because I think Liverpool away is a tricky fixture. However, Sancho and Palmer should be the 2 highest scoring Chelsea players. If there are goals, those 2 are likely to be involved. So they are my 2 Premier League classic lineups. I'm not going to be playing a 3rd Premier League lineup this week, mainly because I don't have the cards that I think could compete. So I'm only going to be playing 2. Then we're going to go to champion, where I put 2 lineups. I usually put 1 champion lineup out, but I've put 2 because I didn't feel as confident with some of my cards, but I was able to put a mixture of Premier League and European cards together here. So Areola in goal for West Ham, Shaw, Newcastle defender, Conor Gallagher, aka the Pitbull, as he's been called in Spain. He's got a good fixture for Atletico Madrid, so hoping for big things from him. Dennis Zakaria is having a good season with Monaco. I think Monaco might be top of the league, or they're doing really well in the French league, Monaco. And look at this, he's got some scores. He's got some good scores this season, so I'm hoping Monaco can continue that. I think they've got a good fixture this week. And then Ben Rama, I'm going to captain him. He scored in the last game for Lyon, and he's got a good fixture, so I'm going to captain him. Ben Rama helps from my West Ham collection, which is why I bought him. But little cheeky pick there, Ben Rama. And then my second champion lineup is going to be Andy Robertson. Hopefully concedes 10 goals against Chelsea. But if he doesn't, he might do well for this team. Kepa in goal at home to Arsenal. Not expecting much there. Billy Gilmore, another former Chelsea boy who I have a special place in my heart. I can't get rid of my Billy Gilmore card. This is why Sorare is so amazing. Even though my strategy now is to get rid of some of my old classic cards, there's just some cards I can't get rid of because I love them. Billy Gilmore is one of them. So I'm hoping Napoli, I think, are top of the league in Italy. So hoping he keeps his good form and Napoli keep their good form going and Billy Gilmore does well. Madueke, let's see, against Liverpool, let's see. And then Ibrahim Sissoko has been doing okay in the French league. I think his last 2 games, he might have scored two goals in his last 2 games. Yes, an assist and 2 goals. So he's had a little good run here. I'm just hoping he can keep that good run going. So those are my champion lineups. Then we go to Challenger, where it's Bilal, Castro Montes from Union SG, Burnley, Josh Cullen playing Sheffield Wednesday. Could be a good chance for Burnley. They've been doing well. Calvo, a fairly new card for me playing in the Turkish League. I've got quite a lot of Turkish League cards. Goalkeeper in the Turkish League, defender in the Turkish League. And David Fofana, ex-Chelsea. I bought him for my Chelsea collection. He now plays in the Turkish League. And he scored in his last game. They've got an away fixture to a team below them in the league. So I'm hoping after he scored last week, he gets a chance to play this week. And if he does, I'm going to captain him and hope he continues his good form. Then we go to Contender, where it's all of the big boys. Dusseldorf haven't been getting good scores lately. My goalkeeper from Dusseldorf was doing amazing. Then I made a video a few weeks ago saying, have I got the best Contender goalkeeper? And he's given me these 2 scores. So let's hope he gets back to this, please, because this is not what I want to see. So he's still my best Contender goalkeeper. So he's going to be playing. POV Cruz Azul have a good fixture this week against Puebla. So Cruz Azul having a great season. They could go all the way this year, Cruz Azul. I don't know. Maybe they could. Atlas also have a great fixture. They're playing Mazatlan, who are second bottom of the league. So I've got 2 Atlas players here, Fulgencio and Jeremy Marquez. And then Idrissi is playing Chivas at home, so I'm going to be playing him there. I don't have a lot of good Contender strikers this week. I have a lot of injuries in there. Cade Powell is injured. I've also got another one who's injured. So I was struggling with strikers in my Contender division this week, which is why I've only put 2 lineups this week. So Idrissi, although he's got a tricky fixture against Chivas, I didn't really have many other players to pick, so he's going to have to play. My other one, I'm going to be going for 3 Necaxa players. They're playing Tijuana at home. The goalkeeper, Montes and Paradela, who I'm going to captain. Then I'm going to be playing my boy in Colombia, Vergara from Santos, ex-Santos player. Let's hope he can get back to good scores. And then Ramiro Sordo, Santos attacker. Even though Santos are bottom of the league and struggling, they're playing America, who are also having a bit of a bad season. America are like 10th in the league, which for them is bad. And yeah, Sordo, even though it's a tricky fixture, he has been putting some good scores together. And like I said, I didn't really have a lot of other options. Then we've got under 23 lineup, which I think could do well this week. I think I could get a good score from my under 23 lineup. It's Paris FC's Abed in goal. Destiny Udogi, Tottenham playing West Ham. So I've got quite a lot of Tottenham and West Ham cards scattered across my lineups. And I'm just hoping that one of them does well and then one of the lineups does well. So if Destiny Udogi's in this lineup, along with Stukas for Genk, then I've got Nesli. I'm very excited about Nesli this week. Rotterdam are playing Almer, who are either bottom or second to bottom in the league. I think they've lost like their last 4 games in a row. Rotterdam are doing really well. Nesli's been putting really good scores together. So I hope he can get that going well. I've captained him. And then I'm going to be playing John Duran. I've been playing John Duran a lot this season. He's been giving me great scores. He's unlikely to start. 10% chance of starting, which I'll go along with. However, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he doesn't start because he comes off the bench and scores. That's how John Duran plays football. So I'm hoping he scores again off the bench and that my under 23s do well. Then there's some training lineups and this warm-up lineup thing with Nicholas Jackson. Why not? So those are my lineups for the coming weekend, people. Good luck with your coming weekends. Thanks for all the support you've shown me. Appreciate it all. I'll see you next week. Peace.